There is a right time for everything. And God's will is right all the time. There are dreams and desires in life that we want to do, but no matter how hard we try, they don't happen. Is it because our heart's desire is wrong, or is it just not right for the time? Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens." In 2 Samuel 7 we read that David wanted God to build a temple. King David was living in his palace, and the Lord had given him peace from all his enemies around him. Then David said to Nathan the prophet, "Look, I am living in a palace made of cedar wood, but the ark of God is in a tent." But God spoke to prophet Nathan and told him that the one who will build the temple is not David but one of his sons. King David wanted to build a temple for God, but God said that that assignment was not for him to fulfill but for his son Solomon to work on. David's intentions are good, but the will is different, as well as God's timetable. What can we do while waiting for the right time? Let's learn from what David did. 1. Seek the Lord for confirmation. David wanted to do something. But instead of immediately acting on what he wanted, he asked God first. He consulted the Lord through the prophet Nathan, and he was indeed guided by God. It's just that, God's answer was not what he expected. What if instead of, yes, God answered you with, no? 2. Accept and obey the will of God. Even if you don't understand God's answer at first, trusting that God knows best and he is never mistaken will help you accept and obey his will. This is what happened to David. He accepted and even thanked that even though he would not be the one to build a temple for God, his clan would still carry it out. He gratefully accepted the will of God. 3. Channel your energy to other endeavors. Although David's plan was not fulfilled, he used his energy for other assignments that God gave him. That's the good thing about not harboring resentment or sulking when something we want doesn't happen. When there is no bitterness in our hearts, we become available to do other work that are being entrusted to us. David spent his energy fighting Israel's enemies. His assignment was to defeat the enemies of Israel. God knew that the perfect time to build a temple was not during a time of war but during peacetime. Although David did not build the temple for God, he prepared Israel and his son Solomon to undertake such a huge and important project. David's desire to build a temple for God eventually happened at the right time during the reign of his son, King Solomon. Always remember, God is not delaying you. He is preparing you. There is a right time for everything. And God's will is right all the time.